had 81 yards rushing. It has truly become a split situation in Buffalo, with both players performing yesterday at an exemplary level. Singletary averaged 6.1 yards per carry. Zach Moss averaged 5.8 yards per carry. So what does all this mean in fantasy? Well, I think it shows there are a few players, if you can trade and get, they're worth getting. Zach Moss is one of those. He's trending up. He's getting more carries. And I know yesterday it was an equal number with Singletary, but 50% share is more than it has been. Okay? We also talked about Giovanni Bernard and the effect he's had since entering the lineup. If you are a Derrick Henry owner, for example, I'm using him, it could be any running back, and you're at the bottom of the standings, you might could pick up a couple of good players for a player like Henry, or a player, again, looking at your position in the standings, if you got, let's say, I'm making this up, Ezekiel Elliott. Let's say, and I know he's having a tough year, but if you could trade Henry for Ezekiel Elliott and another player, like let's say the San Diego quarterback, if you're hurting at quarterback, you may lose in one area some, but you're going to gain more with the quarterback possibly. So you look at your overall effect on your team making trades. Now, if you're a first-place team, second-place team in a league, you're looking for that one player, and you may trade 2 for 1 to get that one player. So trades can be fair from either perspective. It's just a matter of where you are in your standings and how that affects you going forward. Let's look at a few more games before we get out of here today. The Chargers and Broncos, great game in Denver yesterday. Chargers just cannot win a game late, can they? The Broncos score with just seconds left on the clock. They win 31-30. The Broncos are now 3-4. The Chargers are 2-5. But when we look at the statistics of the Chargers and Justin Herbert, wow, 29 completions, 278 yards, 3 touchdown passes. He also rushed for 21 yards. Herbert is a top 5 quarterback right now in fantasy, and I certainly endorse him all the way. Saints-Bears last night. Saints 23 in overtime over the Bears 26-23. Saints are now 5-2. Bears are now 5-3. From a fantasy standpoint, Kamara is king. Okay? Absolutely, Kamara is king. What did he do yesterday? Well, he rushed 12 times for 67 yards, 5.6 yards per carry. He caught 9 balls for 96 yards. He is just a consistent carrier, a consistent catcher, and he's a player that you've got to have and look to have on your fantasy teams every week. Finally, I want to talk about the Seattle-San Francisco game from yesterday. The 49ers 37, Seahawks 37, 49ers 27. Once again, a great game for 2 players for Seattle. It seems like one week it's one wide receiver, the next week it's a different one. Well, yesterday for the Seahawks, Russell Wilson again, 4 touchdown passes, 261 yards through the air. And his main receiver yesterday, DK Metcalf. Last week it was Tyler Lockett. If you remember last week, Tyler Lockett had one of the top 20 scores among wide receivers in the history of fantasy football. Yesterday it was DK Metcalf's turn. 12 catches, 161 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Lockett quiet yesterday, 4 catches, only 33. The Russell Wilson, if he is not MVP this year, somebody is really not thinking about their votes seriously enough. He looks incredible. They are giving him total freelance with that offense. And it's just going to be so much fun watching him go down the stretch to see how he performs. A question that we all had about yesterday's game for the 49ers was their running attack. Well, JaMycal Hasty looks like will be the number 1 back this coming Thursday on Thursday Night Football. Tevin Coleman started yesterday, rushed 3 times for 20 yards, but re-injured that knee. So chances are he will not play Thursday night. Mostert is out. It looks like by default it's going to be JaMycal Hasty at the starting position and we'll see how well he does given that opportunity on Thursday night. Jerick McKinnon, still the pass-catching back, caught 4 for 40 yards yesterday. But it boils down to JaMycal Hasty. The 49ers have had such bad luck at running back this year. And again, they play the Thursday night game this week. Short turnaround before they're back on the field. That's a look at some of the games yesterday. Cowboys, Eagles last night. Eagles win 23-9. Cowboys fall to 2-6. Eagles are now 3-4-1, and they're in first place in the NFC East. Carson Wentz did not look good at all. Now, he's got some good receivers, but he's not making good choices. I was really impressed by how much improved it appears the Dallas defense is as a unit. Stephon Diggs' brother, intercepts 2 balls, but the intensity is better. Now, the result's the same, but the intensity is better, and we'll see how they perform next week, coming off the 23-9 Sunday night loss to the Eagles. Tonight is the Bucs, Tampa Bay, and the New York Giants. Go Blue. I think Tampa Bay will own this game from start to finish. I don't expect this to be much of a contest. The Tampa Bay rush defense is incredible. I know a lot of people have picked up Wayne Gallman in fantasy, but I don't look for Gallman to be that successful running the ball. I frankly don't have that much confidence in Daniel Jones throwing the ball against this defense. Tampa Bay's defense is a swarming defense. And I just look for Brady to have a great night. Next week, they'll be getting Antonio Brown back. It'll be interesting to see what the Tampa Bay Bucs do with that running back position tonight between Fournette and Ronald Jones. I think it's Fournette's job here out. I think he'll get more touches than Ronald Jones, but I'm not discounting Ronald Jones being a fantasy player going forward. We'll see. That game's at 8:15 tonight. I hope you guys have a great day. It's wonderful to be with you on a Monday. We'll be talking more football. We'll look at fantasy winners and losers tomorrow morning. Who was great, who was not. And look forward to getting some of your questions as we go throughout the week. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning right here on Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports. Until then, everyone, have a great